Senyo Blue Mail YouTube channel, and today I am going to show you something that I do in my class and that is part of my teaching is student portfolio. And I have two of my students here who are 8th graders taking Spanish 1, and they are going to talk to you how they use the student portfolio. I want to give credit to Maestra Loca, Annabelle, about how she uses student binders, and she was sharing how she uses 4 categories. So one of them she uses is called Asera Aura, and each one is a different color. It doesn't really matter what color you use. Binder is gonna have 4 categories, or the student portfolio. The first one is Asera Aura, which is do now. The next one is recursos, which is resources. The next one is a fun name, is chuleta, which means pork chops, and this is where we keep like cheat sheets. And the next one is trabajo de boetto, which is return to work. And there's things that go in each category that I will let my students explain to you. So they're actually gonna be using their own binders and show you what they have done so far in the first quarter of the year. We'll start with Gabby.
So in the first part of the binder is the class syllabus and protector sheet, and then in the back of the protector sheet we have the contract, which states that we will listen with the intent to understand and support the flow of language and conversation. And after that, we have our first section, which is Asera Aura, which Cindy Blumel already said is due now. And on every lunes or Monday, we get a entry log, which just helps us organize what we do over the week. And we just write down everything we can do. So we can work individually, with partners, we could write in our notebook, on flashcards, or just on this paper. So another thing that is in Asera Aura is a book that we could be reading. So this one is El Capybara con Botas. And we read the text in Espanol, and then we write some words that we know in Spanish and English, and then we can write about what we think it is about in English. And we can do this alone or with a partner.
So Riley, how is this helping you keeping a journal entry of what you do each day?
It keeps me organized so I know when I'm doing something and how I'm doing it. So when I look at it, I can see when I do it, and it helps me know what I should be learning and how I'm learning it. So the next section is recursos or resources. So this is like things that we will be learning in another class, such as science, like this one is the rainforest, but it's in Spanish, so it helps us understand the language more. The next section is chuleta, which is our cheat sheet, and this could be like vocabulary or how to talk about and start a conversation. So this one is ¿Qué hiciste durante el fin de semana?, which just shows us how we can start our sentences when we're talking about the weekend.
So I guess if you, when you think about chuleta or cheat sheet, you are thinking about all those things that you give to your students that are to help them understand more or learn more about the language. So things like grammar, vocabulary, things like that are like cheat, right? Like you're cheating. Like in this one, for example, I'm giving them a list of words or vocabulary that they would use when I ask them the question, ¿Qué hiciste durante el fin de semana?, which is what do you do during the weekend? And that's something that we work on when we come back from school, so Monday or Tuesday.
So the last section in the binder is Trabajo de boetto, which means return work. So anything that we get returned from Senyo Blumel, or like this is what we did today in class. And we made flashcards of all the different gestures that we've learned for different Spanish words, and we made the flashcards over them, and then all the words that we used on the flashcards, we used them in a sentence. And then behind that, we have our second language acquisition brochures. And Gabby, do you want to show yours? Yeah. Okay. So, second language acquisition theory. So, ours was speaking from the heart and not from the brain, so acquired competence. So, speaking from the heart in a second language using gestures, images, and input, not speaking from the brain in a second language using grammar rules and conjugating verbs. So.
So Gabby did a terrific job with her brochure. As you can see, it's really, really pretty, and it's very detailed. And it basically, by looking at it, like if you look at her brochure and you just look at the drawing she made, she's explaining that, there's two ways really to acquire a language. And the first one is the natural way, which is the way children learn to speak as they are growing up. And the second one is when we are adults and we go to school specifically to learn a language, so we do lots of grammar. But the thing about this is that this is an important lesson that I teach about 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of the year when school starts. The first 10 days, we are building the vocabulary. But then I like to take a day just to teach them about the process of second language acquisition, so they understand how we are going to be using it to learn Spanish in my class this year, and how I prefer the natural approach. How do you think this can help you as you move on with Spanish in high school?
Well, obviously it's very organized, so it's easy to find things, and if you keep your portfolio with you, you can look back at it. So if you need help with something, it's right here, and all the information is right here to help you.
Yeah, throughout these past couple weeks, I knew school just started, but I already feel more organized than I did last year with having the portfolio method. And then next year, when I'm in Spanish 2, I know that if I need to look back on something, like how we learned something, I can just look into my portfolio.